Hi, Stapleton Church. Grant Ryder here, your community pastor. I hope you each are doing well and staying encouraged today in light of everything going on. I'm excited about today because we're starting a new short series this week called Preparing for Victory. In other words, starting today and following each day this week, a different staff member from our church is going to present a short devotional that's going to help us all engage our hearts and our minds more into who Jesus is and what he's done for us as we kind of prepare for our Sunday Easter services coming up this weekend. We're going to be covering some different portions of Isaiah chapter 52 and 53. And I just want to encourage you to tune in every day and soak up some of the incredible truth that's going to be shared as we all prepare our hearts for victory together. Well, today we're going to be in Isaiah 52, and we're going to talk about verses 13, 14, and 15. And the point that I want you to walk away with from this passage is simply this, that Jesus is victorious. Jesus is victorious. This passage, as well as many others that are going to be covered, this is an incredible and important Old Testament prophecy because it details and it describes what Jesus came to do, as well as the shocking way that he actually did it. And so, without further ado, let's jump in. Isaiah 52, starting in verse 13, says this. It says, "See, my servant will act wisely. He will be raised and lifted up and highly exalted." The servant that you'll see many times throughout these passages is in fact Jesus himself. And the theme that emerges right out of the gate here is that he will be lifted up and highly exalted. And this is what we get so excited about in our Easter services, and what we're so excited to proclaim, that Jesus is victorious. But although that's the case, watch how this prophecy continues. In the next verse, in verse 14, it says this, that just as there were many who were appalled at him, his appearance was so disfigured beyond that of any human being, and his form marred beyond human likeness. So right after being hailed as victorious and exalted, this prophecy kind of takes a shocking sort of turn by telling us that Jesus will actually intensely suffer. In fact, he will suffer so much that people will look on him and be appalled. People will see him and not even be able to recognize him because of the brutality that he will undergo. This is a suffering that's hard for us to wrap our minds around. And it's a suffering that will ultimately lead to death. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear that, the idea of victory and exaltation isn't really what comes to mind. This seems a little bit more like humiliation and even defeat rather than victory. But the prophecy continues. In Isaiah 52, verse 15, after saying, just as there were many who were appalled at him, verse 15 goes on to say that so he, Jesus, will sprinkle many nations, and kings will shut their mouths because of him. For what they were not told, they will see, and what they've not heard, they will understand. So in kind of a most unexpected sort of a way, despite the intense suffering, the humiliation, and mistreatment, Jesus will actually stun the world into silence when at the end of the day, all will look on him, this one who is so marred, and realize that he is the one who will claim ultimate victory. Jesus' life ended in a way that most people probably looked at and said was very unfortunate. But in that misfortune, God was doing something so much bigger. In fact, in Jesus' suffering, God was truly reconciling the world to himself and making a way for our sins to be forgiven forever. Jesus endured the worst so that we could experience the best. That's amazing. But what I think is so important for us to recognize and see in all of this as well is that it was Jesus' obedience to the Father that led him to victory and exaltation. You see, back in verse 13, at the very beginning, there's this phrase that says, "My servant acted wisely." And what it's saying is this is the way Jesus went about this. Jesus came and lived his life on earth with a specific purpose and toward an intended result. Even in the face of intense suffering and humiliation and even ultimate death, Jesus acted wisely. In every situation, in every circumstance, in every encounter he had with others, Jesus successfully performed the will of God in order to give us victory and bring God glory. And so as we prepare for victory this week, I encourage you, I challenge you to lean in and thank God for the victory that he's won for you and the price that he paid to claim it. And I also want to challenge you, amidst this time of uncertainty that we're in, to follow the road to true success and the road to true victory by following in the footsteps of Jesus. You see, success with God may look like misfortune or even failure in the eyes of the world. And it may not involve things like fame or fortune or health or happiness as the world sees them. But like Jesus has shown us, success, and true victory come by knowing the will of God and doing it. And so in this time of uncertainty that we're in, and as we look forward to Easter, let's remember and celebrate the reality that Jesus is victorious, that he is exalted, and he will be for all of eternity. May God bless you this week as you embrace the victory that Jesus Christ our Savior has won for us.